Hello, YouTube. So this movie doesn't really need a review. I mean, if you've probably heard R.I.P.D already has like a bunch of negative reviews to it, so it's kind of pointless for me to give my take. I mean, it's kind of unanimous where people stand on it, so um, I'm gonna try to give a non-biased review to this. I mean, I'm typically not the kind of reviewer who's swayed by popular opinion, so I'm gonna try to give an honest take on R.I.P.D. Okay, so here we go. Oh, if I keep looking here, it's because I have my notes. Okay, so R.I.P.D. short review. Um, I did say I don't follow the main crowd, but I'd be lying if I didn't say this movie was kind of bad. Um, I don't like giving negative reviews. I mean, I really don't, but I have to agree that this movie was definitely lacking in quality. I mean, like I feel like I don't feel like I wasted my money. I feel more like I could have seen a better movie that day. I mean, this movie, it's really hard to say if this is a waste of money because it didn't feel like a waste of money when I watched it. It just feels like I could have made a better choice, if that makes sense. I mean, the movie was just bleh, it was just meh, you know. It was bad, but I guess it's not ears piercingly bad, or eye piercingly because you have to watch. But that's my short review of R.I.P.D. Just it was very bleh. Now, going into my long review, okay, I'm gonna start with pros. Okay, just let's get the good stuff out of the way. I mean, there are redeeming qualities about R.I.P.D. First off, it's harmless. I mean, I didn't really see anything in that movie to cause like controversy or do anything like overly offensive. I mean, unless you're offended by death or seeing images of the afterlife or hearing like references to God or whatever. Um, if you're like offended by that, then I guess. But other than that, the movie was really harmless, and it was fun. I mean, it was really stupid, but it was the kind of stupid fun. It was it was those movies with like stupid action scenes. Just to entertain you. They're not very engaging in terms of like it doesn't make you think. It's just the kind of thing that you eat popcorn to. So sorry. So it was fun. And Jeff Bridges, of course. I mean, this is probably not one of my favorite roles by Jeff Bridges, but he definitely played the part to the T. I mean, just like he made a really good cowboy. So I guess that's there. So and yeah, that was it for pros. Now let's go into cons, and we might be here for a while. Cons. Starting with my own nitpick. No one really mentioned this, but I wasn't really so sure if this was supposed to be a kids movie or a movie for adults. Like it was stuck in the area that it was like too dark for kids and yet too stupid for adults. I mean, I really had a problem with this. Like, cause at some points in the movie you'd think it'd be for adults because you have themes of him dying and getting revenge from the afterlife, and his wife has to deal with the fact that her husband died. I mean, that's deep, but then there's like, then it just becomes stupid because then you see the ghosts that he has, the souls that he has to deal with, and they look really cartoonish. It was just, it really pissed me off by the movie's like lack of identity. Like it didn't know if it was supposed to be for kids or adults, so it was too immature for adults and too dark for kids. It was just I really hate that in these kinds of movies, and that's my nitpick. Okay, like actual complaints. I felt like the editing of this movie, for action scenes, was a little. I shouldn't be complaining about action scene editing, but This movie in particular, I mean, it was kind of hard to see some of the action in some scenes, and some of the scenes were like filmed weird because like there was a scene where Ryan Reynolds gets jumped by this two-headed ghost, and Jeff Bridges shoots the ghost in both heads. I mean, it was just, but how it was like angled, how it was like done, just came off as like weird, and I don't it just the movie just the action scenes looked really like awkward. It that makes sense. Maybe that's just another nitpick for me, but I didn't really like the action scenes in this movie. Like they were cool to watch, but they were just hard to follow. Or yeah, I guess. And the more serious complaints, this movie was predictable. Like I've said movies were predictable in the past, but this movie was like you could tell where it's going. Like if you've seen buddy cop movies before, like any buddy cop movie, you know where this is going. Like here, I can actually lay out the movie for you without uh, spoiling like huge parts. Like it starts out with the new like person to the department, Ryan Reynolds, and he gets paired up with a veteran, Jeff Bridges, and they hate each other at first, but then later on they become friends, and over like shared experiences. Then they discover a mystery, a conspiracy, and they dig deeper. And then they have this one scene where they mess up everything. Then they're told that they're off the case. And in this movie, it's actually like how they get suspended is feels really tacked on. Like they knew that they needed to have them suspended, but how they got suspended was just like they just got suspended. You'll see if you watch this movie what I'm talking about. Anyways, they get off the case, but Ryan Reynolds suggests that they should continue the case even if they have to do it without like the help of their department. And then they discover the real people behind the conspiracy. Then they go renegade and take down the villain, blah blah blah, and then they get reinstated back into the department, and everyone loves them and the world is saved. Like it's typical buddy cop. Like they don't even try to like change the formula. Like it's dead on like buddy cop movie. And I wouldn't mind that if there were just like legitimate twists. Like I want like suspense. I want things that I don't see coming. It's just I could predict every scene in this movie. Like the writing is so lazy. And some of the other complaints I had, like let's start with this one. It's not as bad. A lot of people have been complaining that this movie has been a Men in Black ripoff, and it's based off a comic, and Men in Black is also based off a comic. And I don't want to say that they ripped off Men in Black, but I have to agree that there was a lot of like Men in Blackish things in this movie. Maybe I should have done this before Predictable, but this movie really felt like Men in Black. I mean, the idea that what I'm saying is the guns are like chrome and shiny. They shoot out like white beams, and they're fighting cartoonish looking creatures like like in Men in Black. It's a secret organization that no one knows of, and it's also a buddy cop movie. I mean, I guess the con here is not the fact that that it's very Men in Blackish, but the fact that they took this movie, this like comic book, and made it more like made it look like a Men in Black clone. Like they didn't try to make it their own, I guess. I don't know. I've never read the comics, so like I really really don't want to say this is Men in Black ripoff, but it really from how it looks, it really looks like a Men in Black ripoff. So there's that. But my main the main sin of this movie is the characters. Oh god. The story I could forgive. It's the characters that I can't forgive. I mean, these are some of the most uninteresting characters, and and the times that they're uninteresting, they're just annoying. I mean, like Jeff Bridges is the only exception. I mean, there are times when I don't like his character, but at least he's trying. I mean, at least he looks like he's trying. I mean, everyone else just comes off as just like annoying or uninteresting. Like Ryan Reynolds' characters, I don't remember a single time in that movie I actually liked this character. Like he was just so bland in this movie, and he had almost like no chemistry with Jeff Bridges' character, or heck, even his wife's character. Like he just seems so out of place in this movie, and I don't really blame the actor. I actually blame the writing more. What else? I mean, the villain was predictable. I mean, just it looked like Kevin Bacon was in pain and while making this movie. I mean, just like I feel like looking at him on the screen, it looked like he knew where the story was going, so he just decided. It looked like he didn't even want to try. Like I don't know. I don't know what to say about Kevin Bacon's character. It looked like he wasn't even trying. Like he knew where his character's arc was going, so he was just playing it to the end. And everyone else was just like annoying. Like the ghost minor characters were annoying. Like the 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 boss character for the two cops was annoying, and did one of the weirdest things at the end. I'm not going to spoil what she does at the end, but she was uninteresting, but the thing she does at the end just made her from uninteresting to just weird. It's not even funny weird, it's just like, it was just weird. And that was my main complaint about this movie. It was just, the characters were so uninteresting to watch, or were so weird to watch. It was just, it took me out of the movie. And I guess the main negative reviews go to the story, but I have to say it was the characters that really killed it for me. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, this movie, I guess, was harmless and sometimes fun, but it was pretty bad. I'm not even gonna lie. I would not suggest going to watch this movie. I mean, if you have nothing else to do, I guess watch it. I mean, it's not offensive, but it's just, there's definitely better things you could be doing with your money than watching this movie. I mean, whew, yeah. So that's my review of R.I.P.D. Definitely not a good movie.